I'm Melvise from Written Words Publishing. I am a ghostwriter, an editor, a publisher, but I'm also an author. And I'm here live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Reading and revising my book live with the intentions of turning this book into a New York Times bestseller. This book, along with the book that will follow immediately afterwards. I am, what's the word I'm looking? Determined. I'm determined to be consistent and read a chapter from this book every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Uh, I don't know how many times y'all gonna hear me say one of my favorite chapters in the book. I believe I said that when I read chapter 3. I love chapter 3. Now we up to chapter 5. I'm like, yeah, I like this chapter too. So, chapter 5, the definition of appreciation. So, before I start this chapter, I would like to say that if you are a manager, a business owner, if you oversee staff in any type of way or any type of leader, okay, you want to make sure that you show appreciation, okay? And when we wrote this chapter, it was specifically to give a good example of how staff can be appreciated. Hence the title, The Definition of Appreciation. Chapter 5, the definition of appreciation, Staff Appreciation Day. Lorenz Jones, Preston Evans, and Earl Knight were three renowned, well respected black attorneys in Morgantown. There is a comma missing. After well respected, there should have been a comma. So, like I mentioned in my previous videos, this book is full of missing commas, overuse of exclamation points, overuse of the characters' names, overuse of unnecessary words. Um, it's just not perfect yet. It'll be perfect when I'm finished with it. But right now, we are refining this great story. Lorenz Jones, Preston Evans, and Earl Knight were three renowned, well respected black attorneys in Morgantown. Their law firm served a very exclusive assortment of clientele. So, very, we're taken out there. I believe that video has posted about unnecessary words, words that we don't need. Watch me read it again without very. Their law firm served an exclusive assortment of clientele. What does very? We don't need very. Take very out. Very, that, just, uh, really. Take it out. Take it out. Okay. Also, you know what? I'm also going to take out law. Hmm. Their firm, their law firm, they are attorneys. So, law, their firm. You could just say their firm. I don't even think we need the word law there. Yes, we are eliminating unnecessary words. We need to add some senses into this story. We need to eliminate these unnecessary words. We need to fix the punctuation. We need to fix anything else that just does not sound right or flow properly. And we are also going to close up a couple of, loose ends. We need to tie up some loose ends, from this story. Okay. Their firm served an exclusive assortment of clientele, providing advice in tax and estate planning, divorce, and litigation. They were honest and straightforward and made a point to hire ethical attorneys. They also made a valiant effort to recruit females. Out of the 14 associates currently at J.E.K, 6 of them were black women. Preston was adamant about addressing the needs and concerns of the staff. He was the type one could confide in with the confidence that he would respect one's privacy. Okay, let's start over. Chapter 5, the definition of appreciation. Staff Appreciation Day. Lorenz Jones, Preston Evans, and Earl Knight were 3 renowned, well respected black attorneys in Morgantown. Their firm served an exclusive assortment of clientele, providing advice in tax and estate planning, divorce, and litigation. They were honest and straightforward and made a point to hire ethical attorneys. They also made a valiant effort to recruit females. Out of the 14 associates currently at J.E.K, 6 of them were black women. Preston was adamant about addressing the needs and concerns of the staff. He was the type one could confide in with the confidence that he would respect one's privacy. I don't like that sentence. Let's see. I think of a different way to say that. I don't like that. He understood the views of the staff clearly enough to furnish a large office with a television, stereo, cozy seating, and a small refrigerator. It became the perfect place for the employees to escape and relax for a dose of emergency release, hence the nickname the ER. Okay, so comma missing there. Wouldn't you like to have a place like that? How many people have a place like that at your job where your boss took an office and lavished it out with some nice cozy seating and a stereo and a television and a small refrigerator, and then wait till we get to the next chapter, y'all can find out what's in that refrigerator. Yeah. Every year, Preston invited all of the staff to lunch. Mm, every year, Preston invited the entire staff. That's what it should say. You see that? That is an example of where I say that you can say the same thing with one word, 1 or 2 words, as opposed to 3 or 4 words. Instead of saying invited the entire staff. Took out 2 words. Every year, Preston invited the entire staff to lunch at the local soul food restaurant. J.K. Sheen was located across the street from the office on the corner of an old historic building. One of those first, one, one of the first renovated in Morgantown. When you walked through the door, it was so full of vibrant color, it was as if you entered another time. The hardwood floors shined so brightly they reflected the glow of the chandeliers. Across the cozy dining tables lay cloth. What? Oh gosh, they got another one of them spots. Gosh, I don't even want to read this sentence out loud. Across the dining tables lay cloths that were a seductive shade of red, dancing wonderfully with the pastel yellow walls. Ooh. Okay, there gotta be a better way to start that sentence off because my tongue got twisted after tables. The entire atmosphere would make even a rainy day seem cheerful. And we're going to take even out. Wow, even is another one of those words. Was it on the list? Just very, just very that. Really? Ooh, even. Even is another one of those words. The entire atmosphere would make a rainy day seem cheerful. Everything about J.K. Sheen was warm and inviting. Lorenz crashed the luncheon without saying a word. Okay, here, I love this part right here. Imagine. Okay, imagine. You got that. You got the head dudes in charge. Okay, one of them just took the whole staff out to lunch, y'all, at this nice restaurant sitting around, and then his partner comes to the luncheon. Lorenz crashed the luncheon. Without saying a word, he walked around the table handing a crisp bill to each staff member. As he passed out the money, he noticed a new face sitting beside Preston. And who might you be, young lady? I don't believe we've met. Lorenz extended his hand. My name is Kimberly Radcliffe. I work for Mr. Evans. Preston patted Kim on the hand. Didn't I ask you to stop calling me that? We're not into all of that formal stuff at J.E.K. unless in the presence of a client. Preston grinned. Please call me Preston. I'll change Preston grinned to he grinned. Yes, I'm sorry, I mean Preston, she says softly. Says Kim says softly. I'm going to change that to she. My name is Lorenz Jones, and I'm very pleased to meet you. He kissed her hand. Says Lorenz kissed Kim's hand, but we don't need that. We can say he kissed her hand. You can call me Lorenz, and I'll call you Kim, if that's all right with you, Miss Radcliffe. He smiled. That's fine, she quietly responded. Don't forget to give her $100 also. I want to keep her around. So Preston walked in there. He just started handing out $100 bills. Hey, right here. You get 100, you get 100, you get 100, you get 100, you get 100. I wouldn't forget a pretty lady like Miss Radcliffe. I mean, Kim. Lorenz winked. Says Lorenz winked his eye at her and handed her two bills. We don't need his eye. What else do you wink besides your eye? So Lorenz winked at her and handed her two bills. Where's Kat? He asked. Sir Knight has her on lockdown, spouted Trisha. Lorenz shook his head with a puzzled expression. I'll make it up to her. We'll make it up to her, said Preston. Don't forget to make it up to the new receptionist. She couldn't come either, stated Trisha. Thanks for the reminder. I haven't heard what happened to the old receptionist, he commented while nodding to Preston, awaiting a response. Don't look at me. I didn't find out until the following day. Maybe we can take them to lunch, or even better, give them a day off at the spa. Yeah, yeah. When you like that, y'all, your boss got you on lockdown, so you can't go to the staff appreciation lunch. So you know what his partner's gonna do? They're gonna give you a free day off, and they're gonna pay for the spa. What you know about that? That's how you appreciate your staff, okay? Okay. Lorenz grinned at Preston as if he just lost a poker hand and quickly turned his attention to the group. Clapping his hands together, he addressed everyone. Well, I just want to give you a little something from me personally, he emphasized, to show you how much he further emphasized, appreciate all of your hard work and dedication. He licked his lips and flashed his infamous seductive smile, revealing his creamy white teeth. Enjoy your lunch. Says Lorenz, lick this lip there. I'm going to change that to he. Wait a minute, Trisha called out. There go that exclamation point again. We don't need it. Wait a minute, Trisha called out. She called out. You know she was calling out loud. You'd have been calling too. Because Trisha is Lorenz's secretary, right? It's Staff Appreciation Day. Now, he done came out here and passed out all these bills that everybody gave the new girl 2 bills. And he about to leave and he ain't even give her nothing. Is he crazy? So, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Trisha called out. Where's my money? Lorenz put his hands over his heart. Oh my goodness, how could I forget you, my beloved assistant? Everybody did what I'm doing right now. Everybody laughed. Lorenz batted his eyes at Trisha. With his dark chocolate brown skin and gorgeous bright eyes, one might have mistaken him for Pepe Le Pew, some nice, real deep, dark chocolate. Shout out to all the deep, dark chocolate. Lorenz put his, oh wait, I said that part, right? Everyone laughed at Lorenz, batting his eyes at Trisha. Yeah, I said that part too. Okay. I have to tell you, out of the 10 years I've been an attorney, Trisha is truly the best secretary I've ever had. No one has ever managed to juggle my calls the way she does. You'll never know how true that is. Trisha grinned at him. He put his hand on her shoulder. And talk about observant. She catches all of my mistakes. She catches all my mistakes. A few of which could have caused me, and the firm for that matter, a great deal of headache and money. Trisha interrupted right again. And the way she keeps track of my files is amazing. If I need it, I'm always 100% sure Trisha knows exactly where to find it. Simply amazing. I say magnificent is more like it, especially since most of the time the file is right in front of your face. Now, where's my money? She held her hand out with a childish grin. Like, cut all that. I already know I'm the best secretary you ever had. Everybody here know I'm the best secretary in this whole law firm. Where's my money? Lorenz opened his billfold and placed 6 crispy $100 bills in the palm of Trisha's hand. With genuine sincerity, he said, "Thank you for all of your hard work. You cannot imagine the depth of my appreciation." Oh my goodness, you are just too extra, Darlene called out. Now, in this instance right here, there's an exclamation point after "oh my goodness." We're going to take that out. And just is here, but it's dialogue, so I'm going to leave it there because that is just the way that she said it. "Ain't he though?" said one of the secretaries. "You sound like someone who's on the take. Is Trisha blackmailing you or something?" Darlene asked. Says Darlene asked Lorenz, but we know who she's talking to, so we're going to take Lorenz out. Hey now, no attorney bashing in our presence. You all can save that for the ER, requested Preston. Lorenz may be a little extravagant, but his intentions are genuine. Thank you, Press, Lorenz said. No, thank you, Lorenz, for showing our staff just how much you appreciate them. Now, if you don't mind, we are trying to enjoy the lunch that I planned to show them just how much I appreciate their services. I got the eyes there italicized to put the emphasis on I plan that I appreciate. Preston emphasized with a grin. Okay, I have a grin highlighted here. I'm wondering. I'm like, why is that highlighted? Because the next sentence says, "Very funny." He grinned, so we can't have grin and grin. One of them grins got to go. Well, I hope my visit increased the joy. I'll catch you all later. Trisha rose to her feet. Everyone except Darlene followed suit, giving Lorenz a standing ovation as he walked away. Then they sat and quickly returned their attention to Preston while he remained standing. Yeah, if I was his secretary, I would have got up and clapped him too, because you want to know what else he do besides peeling her off $600 on staff appreciation day. He buy her lunch every day. He do a lot of good things. Let's see. Okay, growing up, I never growing up, I was never rewarded for doing my best simply because my best wasn't good enough. I was expected to do better than my best and then do better than that. My father always told me a child's only task in life is to respect his elders, perform to the best of his ability at all times, and no matter what, never expect to be rewarded for one thing or the other, as reward is not deserved and therefore cannot be earned. But as an adult, I can attest that is not always true. Lorenz, Earl, and I have always performed to the best of our ability, and in return, J.E.K. has been rewarded with all of you. I know we don't say it often, says I know that we don't say it often, but I'm going to take that out. I know we don't say it often enough, but we truly do appreciate everything you do for us. I'm sure there are moments in the day when you just want to knock our blocks off, but I thank you for restraining from doing so. The staff laughed and began whispering as Preston continued. Many were surprised when Lorenz and I decided to open a firm together. There was an extreme amount of skepticism about our ability to succeed. We made it by perseverance. We took all of that negative energy directed toward us and used it to our benefit. Together, we rose to the top of our profession and we brought diversity and unity to the forefront of an atmosphere where it barely existed. Percentage wise, J.E.K. is one of the top 10 law firms in the East. I know that comes as a surprise to those who didn't believe in us. It says that, but I should say who. Those who didn't believe in us. A lot of times when you're using, if it's that and you're referring to a person or people, it should say who, not that. Keep that in mind. Okay. I know that comes as a surprise to those who didn't believe in us. Knowing that we proved them wrong gives me great pleasure. Preston expressed his gratitude with pride. It was a struggle to get here, and it is a challenge to stay on top. When we get overwhelmed, we have the tendency to take it out on those closest to us. And if, unfortunately for you, you're it. So, for the year of aggravation you have endured, I apologize. Although I can't promise the next 12 months will be any better, I can promise that J.E.K. will always acknowledge your profound dedication, superb professionalism, and outstanding performance. No one is an island. A prosperous law firm simply cannot exist without a reliable staff. We need you to make this work. No position is small. Everything you do makes it easier for all of us. It says everything that you do. I'll take that out. Everything you do makes it easier for all of us. That is why J.E.K. is so successful today. Envision a manufacturing company producing infant seats. Each inspector is fully trained to know all of the standards each seat must meet before it receives a stamp of approval for distribution. Before the product reaches inspection, it is the factory workers' responsibility to assemble the product. It is the owner's responsibility to ensure that everything from the parts to the machines to the factory workers to the inspectors to the packing to the distribution is flawless. As one of the owners of this company, I am grateful for all of you. You help ensure that every car seat was produced. You help ensure that every car seat we produce is impeccable. I want to personally thank you. He smiled. No need to applaud for me. I applaud you. Preston began clapping. When they returned to the office, all the staff members found J.K. totes stuffed with chocolate and a matching umbrella on their desks. Everyone was pleased, as always. The extra effort that Preston and Lorenz put into embracing their staff was a form of management nearly unheard of in the legal field. The incentives to work for J.K. outshadow all of the negativity that came along with being a lawyer's anchor between the legal world and reality. Later that day, Preston and Lorenz made a point to go by Kat's desk. I know you're having a hard time dealing with Earl. We tried to speak with him and we asked him to go a little easier on you. Sorry to say it didn't do any good. Preston apologized. Kat chuckled. I work with that man every day. I could have told you that. Lorenz and I would like to make it up to you. We know Earl didn't let you join me today. Allow us to take you out to lunch or dinner if you prefer. You pick the place, day, and time. Oh, Preston snapped his fingers. After we check with the new receptionist, of course. Nice save, said Lorenz. Do you mind if we take Naomi? Preston asked. No, that would be great. And make an appointment for both of you at the spa in Mahala Suites. I'm going to treat you to a day of pampering, head to toe. There's one stipulation, though, said Lorenz. What's that? You have to go on a weekday. Fine with me, agreed Kat. I'm going to take out agreed Kat. Thanks. I'll check Earl's workload and speak to Naomi. As Preston and Lorenz walked away, she heard Lorenz say, Earl ought to be grateful that Kat is such a dedicated assistant. I wouldn't give 2 cents about his workload if I was her. You better care about his workload. The heavier his load, the fatter our pockets, said Preston. You got that right. Lorenz gave Preston a high five. Hearing those words left Kat feeling mighty good until the sight of Earl coming out of his office tossed her back into the now. Her good spirits quickly vanished the moment he opened his mouth. Poor Kat. She got to deal with Earl 5 days a week. She deserves a day at the spa, head to toe, paid for on a work day, just to get away from him for just a little while. Just a little while. Okay, that was the end of chapter 5. Y'all, I hope you enjoyed it.